Hey y'all, welcome back to Sweet Potato Soul. Today we are making one of my favorite recipes of all time. I cannot wait to eat it. We are making my better than Chipotle Sofritas. You know the Sofritas they have at Chipotle, that tofu dish that is spicy and smoky and meaty? Well, you can make it at home, but even healthier and even more delicious. And I'm gonna show you how. Before we jump in, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to Sweet Potato Soul. Oh, you do have my cookbook in stock? Great, thanks, bye. Have you ordered my cookbook, Vegan Vibes, yet? You're gonna love this book. It's got 100 delicious vegan recipes that are inspired by the South, by my travels all around the world, and just like good food. You know what I'm saying? Order today. This recipe is surprisingly easy. We are gonna start by roasting our vegetables in this baking dish. We've got a bell pepper in here. We've got a poblano pepper straight into the baking dish. I'm gonna add 2 tomatoes and a jalapeno pepper. We are gonna do a little chopping. I'm just gonna quarter this onion and I'm gonna cut the tops off of this garlic and wrap them in aluminum foil, and they will be roasted along with our other vegetables. But that is it. It's so easy. If you guys saw the green jackfruit chili video, I did something similar by roasting our peppers and the tomatillos before we made the sauce. This is super similar. It's so easy to cook this way. And not only is it easy and you eliminate a lot of the prep, but it brings out so much of the rich flavor of these vegetables. Another thing, that chili was pretty spicy because of the jalapeno pepper. So you can just imagine that these chipotles are going to be spicy too. It's so spicy, it's in my eyes. But if you wanna eliminate some of that spiciness, you can skip the jalapeno pepper, but it's still gonna be spicy in the end a little bit because we're adding chipotle, which is smoked jalapeno. It's just gonna give it so much flavor. I'm gonna drizzle a little olive oil over the vegetables and then place them in the oven at 425 degrees for between 25 and 35 minutes until our peppers are soft and charred and totally cooked through. Now we're gonna move on to the tofu, y'all. I'm using this, a box grater, for our tofu because we are gonna grate this extra firm, sorry, not extra firm, we are grating this super firm tofu. So super firm tofu comes in this sort of vacuum sealed pouch, unlike extra firm and firm tofu, which comes in a lot of water. One great thing about super firm tofu is you do not have to press it like at all. It's got very, very little water in it. It really holds up when you manipulate it. So it's firm enough that we'll be able to grate it and it will maintain its shape. I love this stringy texture that the tofu gets. Because it's thinner, when you fry it, it's gonna get crispy and meaty. But then when you put the sauce on it, it'll sort of take away some of that crispiness, but maintain that meaty texture. Okay, now this is hard. These last little bits that, you know, it's hard to grate without cutting your fingers. I just kind of break them apart with my fingers. Do my best to grate as much as possible. So most people probably have box graters, but if you do not have one, then you could just crumble the tofu by hand. That is also fine. And you're still gonna wanna air fry it though. But that long tofu strips from grating it, I mean, I think that is the best. This is one of my favorite ways to prepare tofu just in general. It really does give it the best texture, in my opinion. Another thing about super firm tofu, it's even higher in protein than extra firm tofu. So this is gonna definitely fill you up. Let's just transfer all of that grated tofu into a baking dish. What is it called? A bowl. We're gonna transfer all of our grated tofu into a mixing dish. Mixing dish? No, bowl. We're gonna transfer all of this grated tofu into a mixing bowl. And then we're gonna add just a drizzle of oil. I'm gonna use olive oil, but you can use avocado or any other neutral oil that you'd like. I just wanna say for my oil-free folks, yes, you can make this recipe without the added oil. It'll still be delicious. Give it a stir, and then we're gonna put this in the air fryer. Chipotle actually fries their tofu before adding it to that sofrito sauce, but I'm gonna air fry it, allowing me to use even less oil and make this an even cleaner recipe than what they have at Chipotle. And we're gonna make sure it's in a nice even layer. You know, it's We're gonna stir it at least one time through, but just as even as possible is perfect. Now we're gonna air fry this for 10 minutes. We're gonna give it a little stir, air fry another 5 minutes, and it's gonna be perfect and ready to go. We have our tofu in the air fryer. We've got a few more minutes on our vegetables in the oven. So I'm gonna use this opportunity to make that zesty black bean and corn salad, which is going to set this meal off right, honey. It is kind of like the corn salad that they serve at Chipotle. You know, it's got corn and jalapeno peppers, but this one's even is zhuzhed up, you know. I think it's even better because it's got black beans, tomatoes in there. It is so tasty. So let's make that right now. For the zesty bean salad, we're gonna start by making our dressing. It's so easy. I always recommend making your own dressings at home. With almost all of my dressings, I put all of the ingredients in a glass jar with a lid and shake them up. It is so easy to do it this way. So I'm gonna start with 2 tablespoons of lime juice. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, maple syrup, another tablespoon, and some spices. I've got half a teaspoon of cumin and half a teaspoon of black pepper. And lastly, we're gonna add our oil, olive oil. Olive oil is my favorite oil for everything, for dressings and for cooking. All right, so we've got all of our ingredients in our jar. Put the lid on and give it a shake.
You as a chef, do you ever get tired cooking?
No.
Oh, it's beautiful.
No, I never get tired of cooking because I never get tired of eating. Obviously, this is my passion. I really enjoy this. And there's certain like recipes that are very exciting for me. Like shredding tofu, I'm like a little kid. Shredding tofu is fun for me. And then like turning it into like meaty texture in the air fryer, to me that is actually fun. And I'm not sick of it. If I really like something like this recipe, or I also have this like sweet potato noodles with this like delicious almond lime sauce, recipes like that, I just keep coming back to over and over. Likewise, with my cookbook, there's this pea pesto pasta that I literally make all the time. I never get sick of them. I never get sick of making them. And a little side note, all of those recipes are really easy to make, and I think that's part of why I'm so like excited about making them. They're not daunting, they're easy, and they're so satisfying. Jalapeno is on the list of ingredients for this zesty bean salad. However, I'm not going to add it just because Baby J doesn't like them. But if you like spicy, a little hint of spice, you can add your jalapeno. I'm not going to do it right now, just out of respect for the 6-year-old. Now we're going to add all of our vegetables into our mixing bowl along with our corn and black beans. We'll add our dressing, and then we'll add some cilantro, and we'll have a perfect bean salad that is so easy to make and also perfect for meal prep. It's just going to get more delicious as it sits and marinates in the refrigerator in the days to come. So now I'm just going to make a quick guacamole. Super simple, but I do think I make the best guacamole. This, along with all the other recipes, of course, are linked down below in the description box. I do make the best guacamole.
I'll believe it.
So now we are ready to make our sofrito sauce. I'm going to grab our roasted vegetables out of the oven, transfer them to a food processor, blend them until they're smooth but chunky. Chunky smooth? Blend them until they're chunky smooth, if that's a thing. You can have them totally smooth or have as much texture as you want, really. And then we are going to combine that sauce with the air fried tofu. Let it simmer for just a few minutes, about 5 minutes, and then we'll be totally done. And we can enjoy our burrito bowls with our delicious sofritas. For the peppers, we just need to remove the stems and the seeds from the inside, all right? Everything else is going to just be added straight to our food processor. Just take your spoon or knife or whatever you're using to gently open the pepper and then scoop out the seeds. You're gonna wait for the peppers to cool down a little before you do this so you don't burn your fingers. There we go. And finally our garlic. So just remove it from the aluminum wrapper that it's in, and you will find tender roasted garlic that slides right out and into your food processor. Now we're just gonna add a few more spices to our sofrito sauce. I've got some oregano, some chili powder, cumin, and salt. And we are gonna open a can of chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. We're using 2 of these chipotle peppers and a tablespoon of the adobo sauce, which is just the sauce that they are in this can. Now I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of tamari soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, and another tablespoon of red wine vinegar. All right, and now we're gonna blend it until it is your desired texture. I like mine just to be a little bit chunky. Give it a look-see. Let me check it out and give it a little stir. You see, pretty chunky. I'm gonna blend it one more time. Okay, I think that's perfect. We're gonna use this same pan to cook our tofu and the sofrita sauce, but we've got a little bit of water and like some seeds in here. So I'm just gonna wipe it out, pour it off. You don't have to clean it or anything like that. We're gonna transfer our air fried tofu to our pan along with our sofrito sauce, let it simmer for 5 minutes, and then we'll be done. Depending on how large your vegetables were, you might have a little extra sofrito sauce. If you do, then make sure to keep that. It makes a delicious salsa for chips, and you can still add it to your bowl once it's finished. I add like almost all of it, 90%, and then give it a stir and see how much more I want to add. You can also freeze any extra sofrito sauce. It is so tasty by itself. I'm going to add all of the sauce. No leftover, no extra for us today, unfortunately, but if you want, just use really large vegetables so you can make sure you'll have extra sauce by the end of this. But the idea is sofritas need to be really saucy. Remember, we air fried that tofu and made it crispy, but it will rehydrate with this sauce as it warms up and cooks and gets extra succulent. That's the word. It's succulent. Sofritas. We are ready. We are done with our delicious sofritas. I cannot wait to eat. I'm going to turn this into a burrito bowl. But sofritas, you can make tacos. You can do a taco salad. You could do a full burrito or a burrito bowl, which is personally my favorite because I get to use rice, my bean, corn salad, guacamole, and I've got some nice shredded red cabbage here as well. I'm just gonna start building it by adding some rice and lots of pretty purple cabbage, red cabbage for color, but also for crunch and nutrition too, of course. One thing I love about this recipe is the combination of texture. The sofritas are really meaty, and then the bean salad gives us the bean texture, but also the crunch from the bell peppers. And then we also have even more crunch from our red cabbage. Top it off with some guacamole, and we got to give it a little bit of garnish before we serve it and enjoy our meal. And there we have it, the perfect burrito bowl, better than Chipotle. And you saw how easy this was to make. Absolutely delicious, very filling, high in plant-based protein and fiber, and loads of flavor as well. Everything you want, all in the perfect little burrito bowl. Or giant, it's pretty giant. All in the perfect giant burrito bowl. Y'all, I know you're going to love this recipe, so please make sure you grab the recipe. It is linked in the description box down below. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. I think you are gonna love it just as much as I do. And remember, I also linked to this zesty black bean and corn salad and the guacamole down below as well. And be sure to check out my brand new cookbook, Vegan Vibes. Inside, you'll find 100 delicious, colorful, vibrant, healthy, and easy to make vegan recipes. If you haven't yet subscribed to Sweet Potato Soul, make sure you hit that subscribe button now and like this video, and I'll be back with some more delicious food next week. All right, you ready for me? Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. I've been waiting for this all day long, all week. The flavor combination, the smokiness and the savoriness from the sofritas, plus that zesty lime, the cumin mixture over here with the beans. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is delicious. And that texture combo too. We've got the meaty, we got the crunchy. It's just, oh, we got the creamy and the guacamole. Listen, this is probably like my favorite thing to eat. A good, hearty burrito bowl. Delicious. Okay, I'm done.
And cut. That's a wrap.